Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about tax credits and more tax deductions that you can take advantage of. Before I get into it, please like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, join our email list. If you want to join the Patreon list, you can join the Patreon list. We've got a link for Webull stocks to set up a free account and save a bunch of money. Let's get into it. Okay. A tax deduction is a deduction that lowers your income, okay? Your taxable income. That's what a tax deduction is. A tax credit lowers your taxes. Now, there are two types of tax credits. There are tax credits that are non-refundable. So if you owe, I'm just going to use round numbers, $5,000 in taxes, and you get a tax credit that's non-refundable, it can reduce your tax liability. Okay. Now, there are refundable tax credits that are crazy, and they actually give you money back. Okay. So we did two videos on this already. One of them was the sick pay for individuals. And if you're self-employed, you can get paid sick pay. And here's the video reference for that. Take a look at that. And I mean, it's amazing. You can get yourself, $5,000 in tax credits for that. The other thing is if you have children, okay, and they have been denied their after-school programs and daycare, and you've had to stay with them and take care of them, you can get up to $6,000 in tax credits based on that. I mean, it's crazy. And here's reference to that video as well. Now, the cool thing with this is that the IRS has on its website, they have references to all the tax credits. And one thing I'm going to recommend for you guys that's worked really well for me being self-employed is I have a pre-interview meeting, I call it, every year with my accountant. And instead of just going in, hey, I'm ready to get my taxes prepared, we have a short meeting. The longest I think I've ever had this thing is 30 minutes. But we go through the year, everything the same, Dan, you got this, don't forget this, bring this in, okay? And it's always saved me money. It's always been worth it. It's worth every dime that I've paid this guy doing this. But this year, it's been different because we've talked a lot about these tax credits and verifying, hey, is this accurate? And these tax credits are fantastic. And you need to take a look at these for your business. But let's take a look next at the IRS website that's just got great resources for this. On the IRS website, they have a list of all the tax credits that are available. Do yourself a favor, take a few minutes before you go see your accountant and just review this. Make sure you're getting everything. And again, when you have that pre-appointment, you don't have to have it, but I highly recommend it because when you have that pre-appointment and you start to talk about these things, it may spur something that you never even thought of or something you've never gotten that you could have been getting for years. But this thing's got a drop-down menu, very easy to use. You can just click on it, look at what you're paying. Okay? I mean, this is fantastic. Just a great resource. It's got everything also for individuals and for businesses. Just really, really easy to go through. Great reference. But remember, we've got the deductions, opportunity zones. Do you have a plug-in car, research credit, business expenses, all these things that are available. Talk to your accountant, see what's available for you, and get the best tax deductions. See, I think stuff like that's pretty cool because it lays it all out for you, and it may give you an idea on how to save money. Now, I've got a flurry of deductions. Since I did those videos, I've had all these people write in and people suggest things, and I've done all this research on it. So I've got, a couple dozen deductions. And again, they're in no particular order, but these are all for people that are self-employed to think about and see if this will help you. And remember, a deduction is something that is ordinary and necessary. It's deductible, okay? Again, I'm not an accountant. This is not CPA advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So talk to your accountant and see if this will help you. You can deduct up to $15,000 in gifts per person. Pretty amazing that you can give that out. You can also have your vehicle wrapped. Now, people go out and say, oh, I bought a car, it's all a business expense, and it's wrapped with my business logo. Hold on, that's got to be used 50% of the time. So, you can have a vehicle, it doesn't even have to be wrapped in your company name and everything like that, but it's got to be used for at least 50% of the time, be considered as a business deduction. A car, you can either write off the maintenance and the expense of the car or the mileage in the car. Based on the age, based on what your accountant tells you, pick the one that's best for you. You can deduct your gambling and stock losses. Let's say you bought GameStop and you lost $6,000 on doing such a lovely thing. You can deduct up to $3,000 a year for those losses. The other $3,000 can carry over to the following year. Again, talk to your accountant about this. Teachers can deduct up to $250. It's called an educator expense. If they teach over 900 hours a year, they teach between kindergarten and 12th grade, they can deduct up to $250 of their expenses that they have for the classroom that they were not reimbursed for. Let's say your chiropractor says you have a bad back and writes you a prescription for a new bed, a new desk, a new chair, all deductible. Medical expense. Interest on all your business loans, that's deductible. Startup cost. Again, I've covered this before, but you don't realize everything you spend when you start a new venture, from the consultants to the filing fees with the state, everything that you have is completely deductible. If you form a new LLC, it's deductible. If you don't form an LLC and you form a DBA and you file the DBA fee, that's deductible. The fee to publish it in the newspaper, that's deductible. Expenses like that are deductible, but we just do these things and don't think about that, okay? The fee with the county recorder to pay those fees, that's all deductible. Travel expenses for your business. Now, if it's travel and it is business related, it's all deductible. Your meals, I miss doing that personally, because I'd have trips to San Francisco and everything. You'd write off all your Uber rides and everything like that, and your meals and everything as you're out of town and entertaining people. That's completely deductible if you still get to do that and you're lucky enough to buy airline tickets and go places. Health insurance premiums as a self-employed person is now deductible. Take a look at that. Your business expenses, business lunches, entertainment with clients, that's 100% deductible now, where it used to be 50% deductible. So you've got that you can write all that off if you're lucky enough to go out. Our state is shut down, it's not shut down. Now it's open again this week. So I've got a meeting this week, and lucky me, I get to buy this guy lunch. So it's deductible. Publications and subscriptions, magazines, trade publications, but that also goes into software. Did you have to buy a CRM for your business? Do you have to buy a Shopify store? Things like that are fully deductible on your taxes. And you don't realize all the things that you spend money on. Do you have a HubSpot account? Do you have one of those accounts like that you're spending money on to maintain your business? That's deductible. Okay, this one I checked out. Did your doctor diagnose you with a gluten allergy? Okay, do you have to be vegan for your diet because you're diabetic or something like that? Well, imagine if you have to have a special diet. That food, the difference is deductible. So if you have to eat a gluten-free diet and you've got to spend $9 in a loaf of bread because it's got to be non-gluten and tastes like cardboard, well, you get to deduct the difference for your medical reasons. A girlfriend and I went out the other night and we were going to get a gluten-free pie until we realized that the pie was $18.95 for a pie. So if you've been diagnosed with a gluten allergy, good luck, okay? If you're not going to be in bankruptcy eating because there's $19 pies out there. Who knew? But the difference, if it's a doctor's condition and it's diagnosed that way, it's considered medical and it's deductible. You can hire your children to work in your business for up to $12,000 a year per child, and it's completely deductible. You could also rent your house back for business for $1,000 a day, up to $1,000 a day for a maximum of 14 days. Okay? Talk to your tax preparer and find out if your house is eligible for you to rent it back for the business for $1,000 a day. Crazy. Check all these deductions out. You know, when I started looking, how many deductions are there possible? Okay? I found out that there were like 475. I could spend hours on this stuff, okay? But it's crazy when you think about all this stuff that could be potentially available to you. Who knew? If you're one of those people paying student loan payments, the interest, if you pay over $600 in interest, is deductible. Speaking of students, students can deduct from the lifetime learning credit. They need to get Form 1098-T from their college. They can deduct their books, activity fees, tuition. They can deduct up to $2,000 a year if they're paying for it out of their own pocket. Don't forget parking fees. Drive someplace, drive to LA, pay $22 to park your car on a business meeting. That's deductible, guys. Now for the people in Canada, okay, if you work at home, you can get up to, this is incredible, $2 whole a day, up to $400, and you can file Form T777S and get a $400 deduction because you got to work at home. So the Canadian money's worth less than it is here in the States. So I guess that the work at home's worth a little bit less too. But I love you guys in Canada, okay? You just get lower deductions. Now, one thing I've been asked for a lot is fancy clothes, suits, dresses, things to make you look nice because you've got to work in a corporate environment that is requiring this. The answer is no, it's not deductible. Everyday, your suits and things like that can be used for everyday use and wear, and it's not considered deductible. Now, if you buy a mascot outfit for your company, that's deductible, okay? Who knew, okay? So if your company has a mascot, that's deductible. Section 179 of the Vehicle Code, that states that you can deduct the purchase of a car if over 50% of it is used for work. Now, you can deduct the entire purchase amount of the car, even if you finance it. They recommend that you don't lease it, you purchase the car. Again, talk to your tax accountant and your tax preparer prior to the purchase of the vehicle. That's what I would do. Now, regular deductions for people that are self-employed, influencers, people that are on the internet, people that make videos like the one you're watching now. We can deduct internet, we can deduct the computer, the camera that you're watching this on can be a tax deduction. The lighting, expenses like that are all deductible. So remember, if you have to and you ever make anything like this, go out and you can deduct all of that. And don't forget the home office expense. The home office expense is based on having a separate area. It's just not the corner of your house. This is not a home office expense. You understand? This is the nice part of the shutters that look nice in the house, but you can't deduct this. I can't deduct this, okay? There's a second office upstairs. That can be deducted, okay? This area, you can't do that, okay? Now, this one was crazy. Health fees. If your doctor says, hey, Dan, you're getting kind of tubby, we want you to join a gym, the gym is deductible if it's a medical expense. If you have an employee workout program, employee fitness programs, things like that are deductible, and you get to go to the gym, pay for your gym. Ask your accountant about this. But if it's considered medical treatment, okay, if you've got a back ailment and you have to go to the gym, that's medical treatment. That's deductible. So take a look at this and see if you qualify for these things, because it could, you could be going to the gym and paying for it. Now, to continue this, let's say you're diagnosed that you can't run, but you need to get exercise. You can put a swim spa in your house if it's medically diagnosed by your doctor. A pool, and it could be expensive, but that could be deductible because of a health condition and be considered medical. Who knew? Are your pets security for your business? If your business ran out of your house that you have to have pets for security, that's deductible. A friend of mine, which you've seen in past videos, has a dog that's a service dog. That dog's deductible, okay? I love Rosie, but I had no idea Rosie was deductible because Rosie was designed because she's got a seizure, my friend's got a seizure disorder, and she has to have this dog with her. So Rosie's a tax deduction. Who knew? Even if you don't itemize your taxes, you can get $300 tax deduction for charitable contributions. Think about it. You donate clothes to the church, you donate your old computer, suits, whatever, veterans fund, whatever, that's deductible, okay? And you can get up to $300 from that. They can write you a receipt for that. Goodwill, Salvation Army, whoever. Now, one thing about the auto expense is that if you, itemize for the car, okay, and you want to write off certain expenses, talk to your accountant first, because if the car's already been purchased, you're better to get the mileage deduction if you use it for business over the deduction of paying for it, but you can't do both. It's one or the other. So use the one that's going to most benefit you and your lifestyle. If you buy solar, if you buy, did you have to put, a second office in your backyard? In California, people are building these she sheds out there with their home office in the backyard, and they're getting all these uses out there. Did you put solar on that? That's deductible, guys. It's crazy, okay? So things like that. I hope these were helpful. I'm sure there'll be more someday. Take a look at the previous videos for the tax credits. Do yourself a favor. Talk to your accountant, and you may think, oh, I don't make enough money to go and do the pre-appointment. Yeah, you do, because 2020 was a crazy year, and there's all these different deductions that you could be eligible for and all these different tax credits. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen those other videos, there are tax credits that you can get paid for sick pay for yourself as being self-employed, even if you don't work for a company. If your kids were denied their after-school program and you had to take time off of work, you can get a tax credit for that as well. Talk to your accountant about this and see if you're eligible. Look at those other two videos. And thank you, guys. Please like this video. Please share this video with all your friends and colleagues. Join the Patreon group. Join the email list. We've got a cool live stream coming up for the 50,000 subscribers that we have to the channel. Okay, now we're over 51, but we're going to do some cool stuff. Okay, so thank you guys, one and all. I will see you very soon.